Well, let's go live to Stash Butler, who's at the Vatican for us this morning. Stash, a moment of history. How did it all unfold?
Oh, Pete, it was an incredible moment, something I think that took a lot of the people here certainly by surprise. As you said, that moment when the white smoke billowed from the chimney just past 6 o'clock in the afternoon here in Rome, a huge roar went up. It was somewhat took people by surprise. It was kind of between the two times that we'd heard that smoke was likely to appear. That white smoke really, sending a ripple through the crowd. We spoke to people who were just overjoyed with the news and that they could be there at that moment. Then, as you said, waiting, the sense of anticipation building, the news spread around Rome, the square filled even more with more thousands and thousands of people waiting to see, waiting for, as you said, the best part of an hour before the Cardinal Proto-Deacon stepped out and announced those famous words, Habemus Papam, we have a Pope. There was, I think, quite a fair amount of confusion, I think it's fair to say, among a lot of the crowd who didn't see Prevost as perhaps, he wasn't listed among the front runners. I think it just goes to show how Conclave throws up surprises again and again. But overall, the reaction from the crowd was just overjoyed. Here's some of the people we spoke to.
I don't even know. I'm at a loss for words. It's just so spiritual, so powerful, so amazing. Just a true honor to be here and experience this.
There's no words anymore. Time to pray.
How are you feeling right now?
I'm ecstatic.
It's a wonderful moment. Oh my goodness, how many people get the chance to see a new Pope? It's truly a wonderful, wonderful thing as a Roman Catholic people to experience this. We're all very blessed to be here. We're so happy to be here.
Thanks be to God. Hallelujah.
In his opening Urbi et Omni speech, a speech to the city of Rome and to the world, Pope Leo XIV, as he will be known, laid out his peace, spread his peace to all, in his words.
Help us. You must also help us and help one another to build bridges through dialogue, through meetings, and we all must be a single peoples, always living in peace. Thanks to Pope Francis.
So now we need to learn who the new Pope is, Stash. I mean, just in his address there, he spoke in a bit of Spanish, bit of Italian as well. He wanted to speak to those who'd come from or who speak the Spanish language all around the world, because that goes back to his time as a bishop in Peru, right?
That's right, Pete. So this is, a U.S. cardinal who spent a lot of his career in Peru as a missionary. A 69-year-old hailing from Chicago who has been the head of the Augustinian order. So someone who with a deep experience also brought to the Vatican to head essentially the kind of Vatican equivalent of a ministry, in this case, the dicastery of bishops. So responsible for appointing bishops around the world, appointed into that position in January 2023, and then made a cardinal later that same year. So someone with experience across the world, multilingual, as you said, someone who's known or has been reported as being quite close to Francis in many respects ideologically. He's a lot more quiet than Francis, though, so a lot of questions still remaining about exactly where he stands on certain issues.
So it does seem as the more progressive faction appears to have come out on top again, Stash. I just want to, for those viewers who might have just joined us this morning that are coming up to speed, so we already played to that huge crowd, that huge roar from the crowd as now Pope Leo XIV came out onto the balcony. There was the other moment of history, which is always a bit of great theatre, about an hour before, when we saw that white smoke emerge from the chimney, which told the pilgrims and the faithful there that a pope had been elected. I just want to play this moment for you so you get a sense of what that was like, and then I'll come back to you, Stash, out the back of it. just amazing theatre, isn't it, Stash? Just what was it like to be there? And it just gives you an idea that this is very important. It's a reminder, isn't it, that this is very important to a lot of people.
That's right. I mean, that moment, it just cannot be described. I mean, I asked so many people how they were feeling, and so many of them came back to me with precisely those words, that it was beyond description. The roar, the tens of thousands of people, as he said, filling that square, thousands more pouring in, so many of them overjoyed, jubilant that the Pope, that the Church has a leader again. It's been 2 weeks, or over 2 weeks now, since Pope Francis died, and in that time we've had the period of sede vacante, the period of the vacant seat, and for so many Catholics it's so important to have that leader again. One woman I spoke to, a nun, was saying that she saw it as the time for the Church now to blossom again under a new leader. So I think, again, overall, such an elation on behalf of all of the Catholics who are gathered in that square today, and at that moment of pure joy when that white smoke emerged.
It's great to see. All right, that's the latest from the Vatican, brought to you by our correspondent Stash Butler, who was there for a moment in history. Stash, thank you. We'll chat to you again in about 20 minutes.